Hello, everybody. This is Joseph P. Farrell with News and Views from the Nefarium on Thursday, July 13th, 2017. Strange week this week. I have a lot of blogs I just got done scheduling for next week. Some very, very interesting stuff. And again, I want to thank everybody that donated these articles and everything. Don't forget also tomorrow night, we do have the members vid chat at 7 p.m. Central U.S. time. This is for our members in the Americas and on the Pacific Rim. So get your questions in. Probably I will start early again because I've already had some questions coming in. So anyway, a busy week. This very odd story was sent to me by one of our Canadian viewers, and I read this just kind of in disbelief. This is a little story. It's the title is U.S. set to approve $4 billion defense sale to Romania. All right, and I read this story kind of in disbelief. Before I get to the story, let me give you a caveat. I'm certainly not against Romania being able to defend itself, nor am I one of those that thinks that Romania is acting in an untoward fashion here. After all, they lived for several decades as a communist nation under one of the most brutal and repressive dictatorships, Ceausescu, that was propped up and supported by the Soviet Union. So you can understand why Romania would be rather cautious towards Russia. But here's the part of the story I want to get to here that gives me a lot of pause because of certain things that have been going on. Quote, the U.S. State Department says it is ready to approve the sale of Patriot missiles defense systems to Romania. The purchase is a further signal that Bucharest is concerned about the Kremlin's role in the Black Sea area. The State Department has made a determination approving a possible foreign military sale to Romania for Patriot air defense systems, related support, and equipment, the State Department said in a statement on Tuesday. The prime contractors would be Raytheon Company and Lockheed Martin Corporation, the Defense Security Cooperation Agency stated. The U.S. Congress now has 30 days to raise objections. This is seen as unlikely, as Romania is a NATO partner with important geostrategic access to the Black Sea. Romania will use the Patriot missile system to strengthen its homeland defense and deter regional threats, the State Department said. The proposed sale will increase the defensive capabilities of the Romanian military to guard against aggression and shield the NATO allies who often train and operate within Romania's borders. Now, going towards the very end of this article, Romania's annual budget for the first time provides for a defense share equal to 2% of the gross domestic product. The adoption of the annual budget makes Romania the sixth NATO member to meet the 2% target, a bone of contention between U.S. President Donald Trump and other NATO member states. Trump has urged NATO's members to meet the 2% requirement. All right. Now, like I said, I do not begrudge Romania wanting to purchase advanced defense systems. Given the history of the country, it's understandable. Nor do I begrudge Poland or anybody else. And you'll notice these countries in Eastern Europe are much more strongly aligned with the United States than are the nations of Western Europe, which are increasingly looking at the United States askance. What I want to question here is the explanation in the article that's given later is that this is a move to defend NATO countries from missile attacks originating in the Middle East. And of course, this has been the primary selling point and the primary talking point of the United States concerning the sale of these weapon systems. Russia, of course, is not buying. But now I have to wonder about two things about this sale and what's really going on over there, because we just saw a massive arms sale between President Trump and the King of Saudi Arabia. You'll recall my rant about about that sale. And that sale, incidentally, included the sale of manufacturing capability. So in other words, while we're busily trying to protect NATO against Middle East, we're also arming certain portions of the Middle East, and the very portions of the Middle East that are the most destabilizing factors in that region of the world. That's my first difficulty here. I think this sale is about nothing but making money. A tactical missile defense system is going to do Romania no good whatsoever against any regional ballistic missiles, certainly no good against the possibility of Iran having advanced missile systems. The Patriot missile system, as we saw, I don't know anything about the upgrades, but we saw its effectiveness during the Gulf War when it was being used to shoot down relatively obsolete Iraqi Scud missiles. So I wonder, first of all, about that. But here's my real problem. If I were Romania, I'd be thinking twice about buying a missile defense system from the United States, especially at this time. Here's why. If you recall, a few years ago, there was the famous Donald Cook incident where an Aegis-class U.S. Navy missile frigate was approached by a Russian Sukhoi 24 fighter bomber, kind of an obsolescent fighter bomber. And as the Sukhoi 24 approached, the Donald Cook's entire electronic system died. In fact, the computers, everything died. The ship was effectively defenseless. The Sukhoi 24, in order to emphasize the point, then made 12 mock attack runs, a whole dozen attack runs over the U.S. ballistic missile frigate. All right. So in other words, some sort of very sophisticated electronic jamming technology was in display. The Russians then did that again in Syria with NATO communications. The Donald Cook, as you recall, hightailed it to Constanza, which of course is a big Romanian port on the Black Sea. And then after that happened, the Donald Cook was again subject to the same kind of electronic outage in the Baltic Sea, even more recently, and again from a Russian Sukhoi 24 obsolescent fighter bomber. Let's add to this the USS Fitzgerald incident. I don't care what they're saying, folks, there is something mighty fishy about that incident. You cannot tell me that with the sophisticated electronic gear on that ship, plus the normal naval procedures, that somebody is going to be on watch on the bridge, that they're going to have a safety zone around the ship, that if any other ship or craft gets within that zone, they're going to be hailed and warned off. The whole way that this thing unfolded suggests to me that you had some very sophisticated electronic interference technology in play with the USS Fitzgerald, and that it was also perhaps interfering with the human crew itself. All right. In other words, somebody was sending powerful messages. So if I were Romania, I would be looking to spend my money for systems that didn't appear to be quite so susceptible to Russian electronic countermeasures. Now, as I said, I do not know what these onshore, basically Aegis systems have been upgraded in response to this Russian technology, or even if they have been. But my point is, it's looking very dodgy. This is, as far as I'm concerned, a waste of money on Romania's part, and it's yet another provocation for Russia, because what's really the goal here? The goal is to sell equipment that is technologically beyond the ability of Romania or Poland or any of those other Eastern European nations to maintain and sustain. This will require permanent American basing in Eastern Europe, and that's the game plan. I predicted that years ago when we first saw this shift of American troop commitments from Western Europe to Eastern Europe, precisely to act as an interdiction point between Russia and Germany and Russian energy sales to Europe. But they're going to get around it anyway, folks. So we're putting our people in harm's way and soaking up the Romanian money for systems that may not be all that effective. Romania, you might want to talk to the Japanese, okay, rather than to American missile defense systems here. Very unusual story, one to watch because the article indicates that other sales might be in the works, not only in Romania, but Poland as well. Very interesting stuff, folks. Anyway, don't forget, tomorrow we have a vid chat at 7 o'clock. Again, my thanks to all of you for all the articles. I have blogged already all of next week's scheduled blogs. Some important stories on GMOs coming up next week, so be watching for that. Anyway, that's it for this week, folks, for news and views from the Nefarium. I'll see everybody on the flip side. Bye-bye, and God bless.